Hello everyone. So today we've got another Bath& Body Works Fragrance Insider review for you. This is a package that was sent to me from the folks at Bath& Body Works to check out and review and share with all of you. So if you've not heard, it is the Bath& Body Works Insider program. I think it's called Fragrance Insiders. Hashtag B&BW Insider. It's a program that anyone who has sort of a web presence can apply for to get free samples to review. So essentially, if you've got a blog, or if you upload videos, or if you have a lot of Twitter followers, home fragrance gurus, beauty gurus, anything along those lines. So there are quite a few people that are in this program. It's a lot of fun to see everyone's reviews. And I just started with these recently. And let's dig right in with this next one. So it's a really beautiful presentation they send here. So we've got just a little card here that says, "We love Fragrance Insiders. To say thanks, we've included a special gift for you and to share with your friends, B&BW Fragrance Insiders team." So we'll just set that. Let's see, we'll put that right there. And then what we're looking at today, we've got, "Dear Fragrance Insider, we traveled the globe to find the world's best ingredients: tulips and raspberry tea from London, orchids and pink amber from Morocco, and lotus and apple blossom from Tokyo. With new scents for your hands and home, it's never been easier to create your own paradise. Enjoy your free Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber Fine Fragrance Mist and Garden Party 3-wick candle. Share your thoughts with friends and followers, and be sure to discover the rest of our World Garden Collection in stores. XOXO BBW Insider Team. Hashtag BBW Insider." And so this, we'll get more into. These are, I suppose, it's going to be a collection of shower gel, body lotion, fine fragrance mist, probably the creams, and maybe some other product forms as well. And they're calling that the World Gardens Collection. And to coincide with that, I suppose they're releasing, well, I will show that here. So this is first up. They're releasing their Garden Party collection of candles. So if you've seen my early reviews, I did some reviews on the test scents when they came out. It's sort of like Bath & Body Works White Barn labeling. There's Garden Party Spring, lots of other candles in there as well, but I'll dig into that next. First, let's look at the first thing they're giving us, which, again, super generous. It's a full-size fine fragrance mist. I think what the value on these, obviously, I don't purchase the value, there's $14. So I will share this with a female friend and see what she thinks. But I will certainly give it a sniff. I love to smell anything and kind of give my in-depth review and notes on what I feel like it reminds me of or is similar to. And so the collection here we'll quickly go through. As you can see, the first one here is, if we can get some focus, please, is Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber. So an alluring mix of exotic orchids and vanilla warmed by pink amber. There's also Tokyo Lotus and Apple Blossom, a playful pairing of red lotus and Japanese apple blossom sprinkled with mandarin zest. Sounds nice. And then finally, London Tulips and Raspberry Tea, a charming blend of English tulips, sparkling raspberry tea, and sandalwood. So I have no idea what those will smell like. They all sound pretty, perfumey. As far as the, signature collection releases go, when they do, a trio of signature collection themed releases. Sometimes they're fresh, sometimes they're floral, sometimes they're fruity. These sound like they're leaning pretty, a mix of, I'd say, floral with some fruit, and definitely leaning towards, more like the high-end fragrance style of things, as opposed to maybe a unisex fragrance that you could just share the shower gel with male companion in the shower. This is definitely one, I think, or collection that would lean more towards females. But again, some males, like these scents as well, so, no hate there. So let's dig in, or sniff in, with Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber. Now, everyone knows Fine Fragrance Mist. You got the plastic cap here. It's a full 8 ounces, and this is just a wraparound bottle. Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber. And I'm just going to spray this on a tissue here to get a good spray. I would do 2 spritzes there. Should be enough. Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber. And I should actually also, while we're here, I'm going to let that dry for a moment just so we can let the alcohol sort of burn off before I sniff it, because you want to get sort of a true, I can smell it already. You want to get a true sniff of it. But let's first talk of the notes within it beyond just obviously the orchid, pink amber, and all that. Morocco Orchid and Pink Amber, they say, let's see here, a little bit. They don't tell us a whole lot. I'm sure other people will have like the top, mid, and bottom notes, but I can tell you from their website at least, it says they've captured the allure of an exotic Moroccan garden with a lush fantasy of Marrakesh orchid, glowing pink amber, and rose petal water wrapped in apricot nectar and vanilla silk. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more of an idea what we're going for. And let me sniff it. So, you know, it's very nice. I really like this. You hear amber. I mean, I don't know exactly what pink amber is supposed to be. You hear amber and you think heavy or, you know, cloying or thick. But this is really lovely. I'd say it's kind of classic women's floral perfumes, kind of. It's not super fresh. It is a little bit sweet. It's fairly sweet, but there's a lot of floral there. It's not overly powdery. There's a bit of freshness to it as well. I tend to like orchids. They're usually like a sweeter, brighter, not so dried down kind of floral. When the limited that I've sniffed them. So this thing orchid, pink amber, rose petal water. I definitely am getting some rose in there, which is I think why I think sort of classic, more mature woman fragrance, because rose is a more mature scent in my opinion. But it's done in a classy way. It's not over the top and certainly not cheap. And then what else? Apricot nectar. There's some sweetness. I think it's more from the orchid and not so much from apricot. I would not call this fruity, which is why they're not putting a fruit in the name. Maybe the other ones like the London tulips and raspberry tea, and the Tokyo lotus and apple blossom might have a little more fruit to them. This is a little bit more, evening wear florals, like a summer floral. And then vanilla silk. Yeah, just kind of wrapped in like a vanilla. This is pretty nice. Again, it's not especially unique or something that kind of you don't sniff it and say, "Oh my gosh, that's so incredible! Give me more!" Or what is this? I like a fragrance to kind of speak to me if it's a body fragrance that I'm going to wear as far as a cologne or a men's perfume or something, where I want it to be really unique and kind of in a way represent me, or just be something that is pleasing but has some edge to it of intrigue or something a little bit different or a little bit strange, while still being really delicious, basically. And so this is standard in the sense that I think it will please many people. This could be something that you give as a gift to a woman. And ooh, I'm almost sneezing there, and I took a big hit of it there. If you're doing gift baskets for Mother's Day or something like that, this is certainly one that I think that most women would probably find enjoyable, or certainly not offensive. Yeah, I like it. So I would say primarily, again, a lot of that orchid and amber with a little bit of sweetness. The more this is drying, I just have it on like a tissue here. There's a definite, I think it's got staying power because it's got the dried on does have a powder to it, which is, again, I assume from the amber. But overall, I would say that's nice. It's not something, a lot of the ones that, say Into the Wild, or some of the things that are initially marketed more towards women, I think, at least in shower gel, can be unisex. This is one that I would not. If it's in shower gel, I think this is more, again, towards a true, like, a woman's fragrance. This isn't something that I would use in the shower. So let's move on next to, dig in here. They pack it so nice with their gingham paper here. Ooh, gosh, let me throw it everywhere. Move on to, for me, the star of the show, which is the Garden Party candle. Now, I love the packaging here. This is similar packaging to the Celebrate the Night collection that was out for the holidays, where you had like the cranberry purplini and black tie and party dress and all of those. It's the gold lid White Barn collection. Again, in this collection, at least in the test phase, it was, I think, about 8 cents. Let me see if I can get them off the top of my head here. Garden Party, Spring, Bloom, Honeysuckle, Lilac Blossom, Watermelon Lemonade, and then some new scents, obviously Garden Party, Sugarberry Spritzer, and Pink Petal Tea Cake. So that's 9. Maybe I'm missing one. Maybe it was 10. It's a big collection. I'm not sure which ones will go wide. I assume not all of them. But certainly, obviously, if this one is being reviewed for B&BW Insiders, this one I am sure will go wide. So this is Garden Party. Now, Garden Party is a fragrance that we have not had before, at least in this name. It's coming out as a new scent. I've been waiting for Flower Shop scent from back in 2011 and 12 that was the best floral they've ever released, and I think most people would agree with me on that. And it didn't come back. I've also been looking for Drenched Apple Flower which came out only, I think, 1 year back in 2012, hasn't come back. And I've been looking for more florals like that that are a little bit either dewy or kind of sweet or a little bit of fruit mixed into the floral. And this actually may fit the bill. So let's explore the candle first. So the collection has all different color waxes, but this is just a cream colored wax. We've got a really nice mix of photo of a bunch of different flowers there. The label here, the Garden Party, the font is embossed, so it's raised up and just kind of like scribbled on. The notes on this are, you're cordially invited to enjoy a blend of pink garden roses and pear blossoms wrapped in soft musk. Now, fruit blossoms are different than the fruit. This isn't going to smell like a pear the way that apple blossom would not smell like an apple. And orange blossom doesn't smell like oranges or orange juice, but it's going to be reminiscent of the fruit. And so let's sniff it. Oh boy, do I love this. This is an absolute must-have, and probably must-have multiples, maybe 2 or 3. It is extremely fresh, it is dewy, it is sweet. I don't think that rose is the right floral listed for this, only in the sense that rose is usually, again, a little drier, a little more classic. When you smell rose, you know it's rose. And it can tend to be a little cloying. Some people say it gives them headaches. Generally, it tends to be a love or hate it scent. Now there's a Majestic Rose test scent that I really like, that hopefully will go wide in the Fresh Picked collection, not in this Garden Party collection. That does smell more like rose. In this, I don't really get so much rose. There's some there. This is, the thing I like about this is, now it's not Flower Shop, but it is quite similar to Flower Shop, in the sense that the flower is authentic. You know, a lot of times, even with things like that Morocco Orchid, you're getting an interpretation of a floral, whereas this is much more like Garden Party. You're out there and there are tons of glass mason jars full of fresh cut flowers in, you know, an English garden or something. And this is really, if you would sniff that flower deep and sneeze from the pollen, this is what a flower would smell like. Now, I'm not sure exactly which flower. Could be roses, but to me it's almost more, it's a little sweeter and more dewy, almost like a peony or similar to like a hydrangea. Now, they actually had a hydrangea candle that only came out in 2011 that was almost as good as Flower Shop. It was really, really great. I think it was a mix maybe of hyacinth and hydrangea and a little bit of lilies. I would say I almost get a bit of almost a bit of a lilac in this. It's similar in the authenticity of the way that the lilac blossom candle is. So I'd say, again, I really think it's a blend of florals. I don't think it's just roses. I'd say peony, lilac, and maybe a hint of rose. And then the pear blossom, again, adds in, it's definitely a floral. It doesn't really smell like pear, but it adds a sweetness, and it does add a slight edge of fruitiness to it, so it's not just a heavy spring floral, you know, not overly powdery. It brings, again, like a dewiness, a wetness, a slight sweetness, and kind of a, to me, something that calms it down. From being so bright and puffy, it kind of cools it off a little bit. Now, I would love if there were cooling greens, or stems or something in here to make it even more kind of authentically, you know, fresh cut flowers. But this is a Garden Party. It doesn't have to be that. This is really just, it's lovely. It's a good mix of an authentic floral, slightly dewy, slightly sweet. I think people who don't love florals would still really, really like this. Oh, I remember another candle that is in this Garden Party collection, at least in the test phase, is called Sundress, which I actually did not like it. To me, it smelled a lot like, almost like a Paris Daydream sort of fragrance, like kind of almost cologne-y, perfumey, just not something I was interested in. But Garden Party is definitely one that I would say is kind of the star of the collection as far as the new scents. Sugarberry Spritzer and Pink Petal Tea Cake I reviewed earlier. You can check out my earlier review on those. I haven't burned them yet because it's not quite the season for those yet, in my opinion. I liked them. I didn't love them. The throw didn't seem super strong when I was sniffing it. But this seems like it'll be a great throw. I'm sure the burn will be wonderful. And just an overall really great kind of April, May, even into June, you know, bright, happy floral candle to get summer started. So I would definitely recommend picking this up when it hits stores. I'm not sure exactly when this collection is coming out. Again, they're releasing, I believe, the Garden Party candles along with the World's Garden body care and fine fragrance mists and things like that. And they don't match up. There's no tulips, lotus or orchid candles. They're just kind of slightly related to each other because they're primarily a floral focused collections. So that's about it for this time. Any questions, hit me up here or on facebook.com/TouchTheFireTwice. Coming up soon, next will be my in-depth review of the new test collection, a surprise test collection called the Summer Sips collection, which is summer drinks, which who knew that they would be releasing another summer candle collection. It's currently in test phase, and I will do my in-depth review on that coming up next. And until next time, take care.